My name is Dave Oakley, and in this video I want to share with you LeadDifferent, which is my approach that I developed to help you apply the lessons from good to great so that you can get the results that you need. Collins and his researchers set out to answer the big question, can a good company become great, and if so, how? They studied pairs of companies in the same industry that for 15 years performed at market average, followed by a second 15-year period where the comparison company remained at market performance and the good to great company went on a tear. They sustained improvement for 15 years or longer, and they beat the market by an average of 7-fold. Not only did they get great results, they created a culture of discipline that lived this kind of continuous improvement where there was organic engagement. That's what every leader wants to have in their organization. And that's what LeadDifferent is about, helping you apply these to your situation today. We learned that the comparison companies, the companies that didn't transform, employed many of the tactics that companies try today to improve, like the search for the larger-than-life charismatic leader, great mission, vision, or strategy, executive compensation, or major initiatives with grand kickoffs. These were the things that were done by the comparison companies, absent in the good to great companies, and these led to either disappointing results or results that weren't sustained over the long run. And this is why the good to great principles are so vital for us to learn. The good to great companies took an entirely different approach. They cultivated a unique style of leadership called the Level 5 leader. It's a combination of personal humility and fierce resolve. And then, instead of beginning with mission and vision, they got the right people on the bus, the wrong ones off, and the right people in the right seats. With the right people in the right seats, they then confronted the brutal facts of their current reality. These first three steps, cultivating level 5 leadership, applying first two, and confronting the brutal facts, this is the build-up period before breakthrough. At the end of build-up, we're able to create a very focused strategy. It's the combination of what we can be the best at, what ignites our passion, and what drives our economic engine. It's called the hedgehog concept. This powerful focus allows us to create a culture of discipline and then use technology in a way that benefits the company, not to provide the lightning strike for our breakthrough. Good to Great provides us the principles that we need to get on the path from good to great, but lacks an explicit how-to. And this is where LeadDifferent fills that gap. We teach all of your leaders the level 5 model, and we contrast that with the other combinations of resolve and ego. We not only do this at the top of the organization, we create an entire chain of command that exhibits the level 5 qualities. LeadDifferent uses a talent matrix to allow us to implement first two. You see a before and after picture on the screen, and when the dots move from left to right, it shows that we've gotten increased fit and performance in this particular role. In LeadDifferent, we bring forward the concept of trust and how it's the foundation of all great organizations. We link it to the level 5 behaviors that are used to create an environment where the truth can be heard. We contrast that with some stereotypical leadership qualities that actually create silence or break down trust in organizations. Also unique to LeadDifferent is our ability to assess the build-up areas, level 5 leadership, first two, and confronting brutal facts. We have 7 questions in each of these build-up areas, and we get the perspectives of the senior leadership team and the key influencers in the organization. This allows us to identify the areas of agreement and disagreement, as well as to create a focus for where do we need to approach the principles first. In LeadDifferent, we introduce the idea that there's 2 components to the flywheel. There's the organizational dynamics or the cultural flywheel, and then there's the value creation or the business flywheel. We use simple cause and effect diagrams to allow us to connect the dots and show the current state. We also create a projected to-be version of this flywheel, these 2 flywheels, and we show where we're going to actually apply the principles to bridge the gap from as is to be. LeadDifferent also introduces the concept of graceful growth. Company in breakthrough is going to grow rapidly. We want to make sure that we can do that in a graceful, not regrettable manner. This is about learning the leadership disciplines where we can keep the cultural flywheel healthy and avoid getting into regrettable turnover. It's also about keeping the value creation smooth so we avoid it turning chaotic. We engage with clients in a variety of ways. It can begin with workshops where we can teach the fundamentals of the good to great transformations in advanced topics like how to first who. A number of leaders or leadership teams reach out to us to begin with coaching. We teach the level 5 principles, and we employ things like feed forward and feedback so that you can gauge your progress in adopting these and getting results. Some begin with assessments, which include all the fundamental and foundations training, but we begin to bring in the surveys and interviews so that we can create the as-is picture and the to-be picture where you get on that path to good to great. Sometimes we're asked to bring LeadDifferent to a functional group or to a business unit, and we call that a mini bus of improvement. Sometimes it's a full organization for all of LeadDifferent. Whether it's a workshop, coaching, assessments, or an implementation, we like to think there's no cookie cutter. Nobody has the exact same starting point, so we meet you where you're at. We tailor our work, always staying true to the principles, to your needs so that you can get results now. So how do you know if you need LeadDifferent? If you're in full-blown chaos or crisis, you need to go from bad to good to great. Maybe you have a function that needs to be transformed. It's the one that's holding you back. It could be you need to build a minibus of excellence. A lot of leaders know instinctively that their organization isn't fulfilling their potential. And very, very common is people have gotten into regrettable growth, and we need to learn how to get back on track to breakthrough with graceful growth. Maybe you're a leader who's read Good to Great, you identify with the principles, you want to become the best that you can be, but you can't see an actionable path, then LeadDifferent's exactly what you need. The most exciting part of working with clients is when we have the right people in the right seats and they're operating at the right level. There's no need for bureaucracy anymore. The organization becomes faster with a higher quality result. People feel heard and are making a difference with their talents. There's this organic engagement. We actually create a culture of freedom and responsibility. This is the feeling of the flywheel, why we say the cultural flywheel begins while you're getting results right before the value creation or the business flywheel turns. If you have questions or want to learn more, or you want to find out how to get started, please reach out to me at the contact information provided. Is it your time to lead different? I sure hope so.